How's it going, guys? This is RiceTube and DM073.
What's up, guys?
And today we kind of wanted to talk about something a little more serious, a little bit more close to who we are as players of Kaijudo. So today we're going to talk to you about why we're quitting Yugioh to play Kaijudo, essentially.
Yeah, competitively, yeah, for sure.
So first off, if you're just viewing this video, why should you even keep watching? I mean, we're almost like a minute in, and you're kind of like, I don't know if we should even be viewing this video. Well, I'll tell you why you should be viewing this. Well, first of all, we're pretty average.
Yep.
We're not, like, intensely into the game as much as maybe someone like CDH or
Bobby Break,
who are, like, really cool players, really cool people, but are, like, really entrenched in the competitive
and there's, like,
side of things.
Sponsored and stuff like that. We're not sponsored players. We
pretty much just play dual days, and we're looking to go to regionals, but we're not super engrossed in all this.
Yeah, we're your average community member.
We've also been, like, kind of part of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitive circuit for a good number of years. I mean, like, when did you start doing this?
I started doing Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively about, I want to say, like, 4 years ago. I mean, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! For, like, 10 years, but then really transitioned to the more competitive scene around the time when Ixies came out, Generation Force, so, like, 4 years ago. And I got deep into it. Like, I was investing a lot of money in that game at that point.
And same here. I started back in 2010 with Black Wings, and I played all the way up till this year. And we're also not even sponsored. No one sponsors us. We're completely freelance, and we have really no other motivation except we really love Kaijudo a lot.
And we want to see this community grow, for sure.
So right now, we're just going to kind of break it down. We're going to talk to you about why we started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For the most part, and then why we wanted to quit, why we wanted to play Kaijudo, and then why we wanted to start playing Kaijudo competitively. Because it was kind of an amazing journey. To be
it was really sweet. It was really fun. I really liked it.
So why don't you go first, because you kind of already touched on this a little bit.
Yeah, sounds good. So I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Just with a friend. Some friends of mine, and it was just a really fun game. That was back in the time when, like, most of your deck was like normal monsters. Like, back in the day, Blue Eyes White Dragon was the best card ever. Well, Summon Skull, really. But
that's totally true.
But I started playing, and then never really got into, like, tournaments. I did, like, occasional tournaments, but, like, I was just a kid. I really didn't know much. And then when Ixies came out, I left the game when Synchros came out because I thought they were really stupid. And then I came back into the game when Ixies came out because no real card game at that point in time kind of had that mechanic that Ixies were. And so I really loved it, and it pulled me back in really hard. And I started getting really, really deep into it and investing a lot of money into it. And I had a pretty decent time. I had a pretty good time with it, but that was kind of what pulled me back in to the game. It kind of brought me to where I am now. What about you?
And I started back way back in, like, 2001 when the show first came out. When we first got the first structure decks for, like, Kaiba and Yugi, I picked up the Yugi starter deck and had just so much fun with the game at that point in time. I really wanted to become the king of games, you know what I'm saying? Like, like, everyone wanted to become king of games.
King of games, bro.
And I, like, just started playing the video games, and I was just like, man, I'm really good. I came here to this current town that I'm in right now in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and I started playing at our locals here. And
that was how we met.
That's how we met.
Yeah, that's how we met.
Long story there.
Yeah, that's another video.
That's a whole other story.
But
I started playing at this locals that we have downtown here, and I beat one of the top players there. It felt really affirmed in my play style and just how good I was at the game. Started losing a lot, and then I just kept going, and eventually I got to the point where I dropped the game for a couple years, picked it back up in 2010. Started playing Black Wings, TG Stun, Dino Rabbit when everything got re-released, and right about now. I mean, a couple of months ago when we started thinking about quitting.
Which kind of brings us to our next point. Is why we want to quit competitive. We still play casually with friends.
Like locally.
And we'll play, like, at our locals, mainly to earn funds to buy Kaijudo.
It's the only way to do it, guys.
Use you get enough fun Kaijudo. Steal Konami's money. But we started to quit because what we noticed was that there is... Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a game that rewards you for being lucky and punishes you for being unlucky. You don't see that as much. Yeah, you have terrible luck.
I'm terrible at it.
You have At your locals, that's not so much a case, which is why we enjoy playing at locals. Mm-hmm. But if you go to a regional or anything above, You're going to see about usually 5 or 6 decks, even if there's 300 or plus players. And literally, it comes down to like luck of the die roll to see who goes first, and luck of the see who has the best hand, or like opening hand. And card games, when they get to that point, if you know you're going to lose in the first 5 seconds, you're not having fun.
No.
And then when your player that you're playing against, who is winning in the first 5 seconds, doesn't care that you're losing, there's no community there. It's literally just a bunch of people looking out for themselves.
And that kind of is like where I'm wanting to, like, the biggest thing for Kaijudo for me is the dojo. You guys are probably watching this on the dojo. If you're not, you're on my YouTube channel, but I'll link it down below in the comment description or something. But this community is simply amazing. I've never felt like I've been flamed or just written off or anything like that. But when I've played Yu-Gi-Oh, it's really just been, I've been against really pretentious people, and they've been playing the saggiest deck, #Madolches. Sorry, bro. But, like, I'll just get sacked for no apparent reason, and then no one will care about how I feel in the game at all.
Once you lose, you're not a person.
If you have any type of creativity in Yu-Gi-Oh, you're not really rewarded for that. Nope. I know people were talking about running Trapchicks, Myra Melio, and Geargia, and people were getting like ran over in the forums because of that, because it's #a bad idea,
Stop.
quote unquote the terrible idea. You know, it's like, what's up with that? Until we got to Kaijudo.
Yep, which is why we did kind of move to Kaijudo. And I played Duel Masters back in the day. It was a great, such a fun game. Fun.
I went to my first Gen Con playing Duel Masters.
Yeah,
first competitive event ever.
Yeah, and so then Paul picked up Kaijudo, and we played a little bit. And I made a deck, played Sabervolt off of your like extra cards, and like fell in love with this game. It's a game where, you know, the die roll determines nothing. There's a comeback mechanic built in.
I would say it doesn't determine as much, maybe.
But it's not about the die roll. Like, it's about
really
the game.
About
and then, like we said, like there's a comeback mechanic built into it. The game is slower paced, so it's made for a more engaging experience than to, oh, look at me, I did a 25 card combo and you can't do anything. You suck. Like, Kaijudo is built to be more of an engaging, like slow kind of experience, which is really enjoyable to me. And then also just the community. Like, the community is phenomenal.
Right.
Like, the dojo, like, both of us have posted on there. And heck, I've even, like, just sent a message to, like, CVH and, like, talked to him about, like, his experience at Champs and stuff like that. And
Thunder cool guy, by the way. If you're watching this video.
We're nobodies. These guys are, like, the sponsored players. And without a hesitation, they're willing to talk with us and, like, hash things out and see what we think about things. Like, that... it's just everything I want in a card game community.
Definitely. I mean, I never feel like I am less than if I do not, like, play a certain deck or have a certain amount of money. Like, my creativity the game is 10 times cheaper than Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever will be. And I've never been shunned because of that.
Right.
Like, people are willing to work with me. People are willing to talk to me and give me advice. All of you guys out there, if you're watching this, you're some of the greatest people I know.
Right.
Straight up.
And so that's... kind of, along with all of that, the other real kind of final point, I think, as to why we're trying to do competitive, is the competitive circuit is so much more rewarding at every level, both product-wise and experience-wise, than Yu-Gi-Oh! Is. I mean, showing up to a regional, you pay them $25 and get 5 packs. That's you buying 5 packs.
You pay 20 or 25?
Well, whatever. You pay some money to get packs. $20 probably to get your packs. That's paying money. That's like paying a card shop for packs. Then you have to sit in a crowded room for 10 to 12 hours with a bunch of really rude people, and you only get something if you get in top 16. You only get something.
Not to mention the packs probably don't have anything good in it.
Most of the time they don't. In Kaijudo, if you go to even a regional, just for showing up, you get pack, playmat, and other stuff, right?
A promo card.
And a promo card, just for showing up.
Really good promo card.
Right. And then... if you're lucky enough to get an invite, which there's KMCs everywhere, and it's, you know, a really engaging experience, then you get to go to Champs. And Champs, just for showing up, you get to meet with all these cool people in the community from all over the country. You get cards and hoodies and playmats and getting to design cards for the game. Like,
you sit in a room with R&D for 4 hours.
Right, that's ridiculous.
Or whatever. People can correct me. I don't care.
Just the fact that the competitive circuit is so much more rewarding at every single level as a player, whether you're just trying to start out or whether you're a champion, like someone who can just walk in and win. The fact that it's that much more rewarding for everyone involved is why I want to play competitive Kaijudo.
Definitely. I mean,
Like,
the
that's
same
our
here. It's
final
like,
point, right?
if I were going to play any game competitively, I have to look at where the regional is. So for like a Yu-Gi-Oh regional, it's like, say, Niles regional is the closest one I have here. That's like maybe $40-50 worth of gas to and back. I have to try and find people to like make that cost lower. There's no guarantee if I go there I'm actually going to top
Or have a good time.
I mean, I guess you could say the same thing about Kaijudo, but if I go to a regional and I completely drop out for Kaijudo, from what I understand, it's worth to go anyway.
Right.
I mean, even if we were to drive like 2 or 3 hours, we'd still meet a ton of really awesome people. We still get some really decent stuff in terms of like a playmat and a promo card. And there's just many more opportunities for you to actually get stuff.
Right.
And meet really cool people and have fun.
Right.
And I've never felt like I've had a ton of fun at regionals for Yu-Gi-Oh! Like ever. I was sick the first time. The second time, it was freezing.
My experience was awful.
His experience was awful.
I was there for 10 hours by myself, and everyone hated me. Like, no one cared. It was terrible. So, yeah, I think that's kind of the big point, is that just the community itself, the community makes the game. The shower.
Someone showering.
The community makes the game, and that's why this game is better than Yu-Gi-Oh! That's kind of it in closing.
So, yeah, I mean, guys, tell us what you think down in the comment section below. Like this video if you like the video. I mean,
if you have a similar experience, like, let us know. You know,
tell us down below your worst experience in Yu-Gi-Oh!
And your best experience in Kaijudo.
And your best experience in like some other card game. I mean,
right.
I mean, this isn't really necessarily to hate on Yu-Gi-Oh! As much as it is to kind of raise awareness about how Yu-Gi-Oh! Could be a better everything in comparison to what we're doing now.
Yeah, for sure.
So, anyway, guys, peace out, and as always, stay crispy.